Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Blessing again. Have you missed me? Because I have missed you too. Yes, I have, and I'm so sorry that I've been gone for so long. I moved to Nigeria beginning of June, so I've been here for almost 2 months now, and I've just kind of been finding my footing here and getting used to life here. And as a result, it means I've not been able to film videos or upload videos, so I apologize for being MIA and disappearing on you guys. I don't know if I'm back yet because life is still a bit tight, so I can't say that I'm going to be back fully yet. I'm going to try my best to be as consistent as I can be, bearing in mind the situation that I'm in. Okay, before I get into this video, if you have not subscribed to the channel, can you please just kind of sort it out? Like, okay, let's just get into it. So I know you're looking at the title and you're wondering, what on earth is this young woman talking about? Like where did this come from? This is out of the blue, and it is out of the blue. This is how my friends and people around me felt when I told them, like, I'm really going to Nigeria. Like, it was half shock, half disbelief, half wow, you're brave. So you're probably wondering why. Blessing, why? Who sent you? Why are you here? And the thing is, I don't really know if it's a permanent move yet. As of now, I want to go back to the UK, and I'm going to go back to the UK in about 1.5 years. So I don't think it's permanent yet, but I could change my mind. I don't know. Ask me in a year's time how I feel, and I'll let you know then. But I really miss the UK. I really miss chocolate. So let's get into why I moved to Nigeria. So the reason why I'm actually in Nigeria currently is that I'm undergoing the Nigerian law school. So I am currently in law school in Nigeria, and the whole thing is about 1.5 years. So now you're probably wondering why. Like, you live in the UK, you studied in the UK, why did you move to Nigeria to do law school? Career-wise, I was at the point where I kind of wasn't thinking of practicing law in the UK. Like, my head wasn't there to practice law in the UK. So realistically, I just thought, I don't really want to practice in the UK anyway. And if I want to practice law, I kind of thought I would prefer to practice law in Nigeria. Even though I don't really have like a strong understanding of law in Nigeria, I just felt like if I wanted to practice, I'm more inclined to want to practice in Nigeria. But that being said, it's cheaper in Nigeria and it's quicker in Nigeria. In the UK, you have to do the LPC, then 2 years training contract, and then you become either a barrister or a solicitor. In Nigeria, it's a year for the whole law school training program, and you qualify as both a barrister and a solicitor. So you can work in court and you can own a firm, a law firm. In the UK, that's not the case. So for me, it kind of just made sense to go the Nigerian route, because when I go back to the UK, if I want to practice in the UK, I can just do a conversion exam and qualify over there if that's what I want to do. So for me, it didn't really seem like such a big deal to kind of come and do the law school here. But also, even if I couldn't do the conversion exam, I would just go to law school over there and do the whole thing if that's what I want to do. So it's not really an issue for me. But also, I've been working at where I was working before I quit for 1.5 years, and I was really kind of feeling like, what is the point? Like, what am I doing here? There must be more to life. Like, I want to see what's out there. And I've always thought about potentially moving back to Nigeria anyway and living here when I'm older. So I thought coming to law school is the perfect way to kind of figure out if I can actually live in Nigeria, if I can enjoy living in Nigeria, if living in Nigeria is something that I can feel comfortable enough to do. I don't know if that makes sense, but the law school for me is kind of like an opportunity to see how Nigeria is, because I was born in Nigeria. I came to the UK when I was 6 years old, and I haven't been back in a long time, so I wasn't really aware of what Nigeria was like. So for me, coming to the law school, I would qualify. At the same time, I get an experience of living abroad somewhere else for 1 year and a bit. On top of that, I get to see what Nigeria is like, so I get to see what my home is like and see what's really happening there. I feel like back in the UK, a lot of us kind of are there and we talk a lot about what Nigeria is like, but we've not been there. We don't know, we don't actually live there. And actually, there's so many things that I've seen and found out that just makes me so tired. But yeah, so I just feel like for me, life is about living and having experiences and having stories to tell. And I was over there in the UK working and just not feeling, I just felt like there was so much more. And I just felt like if I'm gonna be called to bar, if I'm gonna go get my qualification in Nigeria, this is the perfect time to do it. I'm still young now, I have no real ties in the UK, there's nothing tying me there, I'm not married, I don't have kids. Like, why not? Why not go to Nigeria, get a qualification and have a year abroad? And I feel like this trip is gonna challenge me so much and it already has. This Nigeria is going to break me down on so many levels, but at the same time it's going to build me up. It's going to be character building. It's going to reveal so many things about myself, and I just feel like what better time to do that than now, at this age in my life, when I'm still young, when I'm still learning, when I'm still growing. I want a different worldview than the one that I'm used to in the UK, and I think having lived here for just 2 months, I understand how much I take for granted in the UK. Like the things that are just normal, the things that I don't even count as important over there, living here, I'm like, wow, that's actually a big deal. Like I didn't realize that's actually a big deal. Light, Wi-Fi, like water, running water from the taps. Like I think just living in the UK, you think it's 2018, everyone has running water, everyone has hot water and cold water running out of their taps, and it's just like, no sis, that's really not the case. And I don't know, my eyes have already been opened so much. I've been tested. When I say I have been tested, I have been tested. My patience has been tested to the limits, the upper limits. But yeah, I feel like this trip is really a chance for me to grow and a chance for me to get stronger. And being away from my parents was difficult because my grandfather passed away 2 months ago, and so my parents came with me for his funeral. We went to his funeral before I moved down to law school. My parents came with me, and when they were leaving, guys, it was the hardest thing I have ever. It was so hard because my mom and my sister left first, and then my dad went like a week later. When my mom and my sister went, I was so upset. I was like, Mom, don't leave me. I didn't want her to go because I was just like, I don't want to be in Nigeria on my own. I don't like it here. And then like when she left, I kind of got used to it a bit. Then my dad came and he was leaving, and I got upset all over again. I was like, I want to go back. I regret coming here. I don't want to be here. But that was what, like a month ago now, and I'm much better. I'm in the law school now, and I'm ready for the challenge. I know it's going to be a challenge. Oh my gosh, it's going to be a challenge because first of all, there's no supermarket here. I'm in the village. The law school bar part 1 is in the village. There's no supermarket. I eat chocolate every day back in the UK. I've not eaten chocolate for God knows how long. I miss chocolate, I miss brownies, I miss donuts, I miss spaghetti bolognese, I miss pizza. You know, all the like terrible food that you just the normal things that you eat, the food that you take for granted, like you don't really get here. The chicken over here is nicer, I'll give them that. Like the chicken here is just nicer and firmer, but it's just, I just don't have the range of food available to me that I did over there. And I'm a really picky eater as well, so I knew that coming to Nigeria I was really going to be tested, and I really have been tested and tried. I've eaten so much rice, it's growing on my head. Like I've been eating bare rice. But yeah, so I knew I was going to have to be really patient. I knew I was going to really have to persevere. I knew I was really going to have to try and acclimatize and adapt to life over here. And I feel like I have been. When I first came, it was really challenging, but as time has gone on, I'm getting used to life here. And even though I have so much to say about Nigeria and my experience here, a part of me feels like it's amazing that despite how things are, and despite how not perfect things are, and how there's so much room for improvement, the people who live here do so and make the best of their situation. And being here has really humbled me, because if I'm honest, I happen to be privileged to be able to live in a different country where things are more advanced and where I have more luxury, because they are luxuries when you actually think about them. Things that I take for granted and the things that I take for is normal, it's actually a luxury. And being here has really humbled me to think like, you're over there and you have all these things like readily available to you and you complain, but there's people over here who have so much less and they have to make do with what they have. Like over there you can get a loan, you can get a mortgage. If you want to buy a car, you can finance it. Over here you pretty much have to have cash to do anything. Like no one's loaning you money that easily over here. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just kind of humbled me. I actually met someone when I was registering for law school. You know, she was asking if I wanted to stay in Nigeria after law school, and I was saying, I don't know, I'll see if I can live here. And she was like, she was a bit taken aback. She was like, what do you mean see if you can live here? Like over 2 million people live here and they're okay, they're fine. Like I guess like I was just talking but not realizing that I was actually coming off very rude and entitled, because me saying I'm gonna see if I can live here as if it's some kind of inhabitable place. And don't get me wrong, the truth has to be told. Coming from over there and seeing how certain things are over here, it's actually very shocking, and it's a bit of a shock to the system. But at the same time, I kind of have to be humble and kind of just come down and realize that just things are different, the system is different, the process is different. Like when people who are like offering me a service that I pay for, mind you, are being rude or are just taking the piss, I'm trying to be more patient and I'm trying to be more understanding that they're frustrated. Maybe they're not getting paid enough and they're having to, like, just kind of being more understanding of other people's situations and not kind of automatically going to, oh, but in the UK things are different. And I think this is what I mean by this is really going to challenge me, but also teach me and build my character. Being able to see where someone else is coming from and being able to live a different life to what you're used to is such a good skill to have, because the truth is you don't know what you end up in the future. Like I'm saying I want to go back to the UK, but God might have different plans for me. And to be honest, I know that my long-term plan in life, there is a large part of what I want to do in the future that is rooted in Nigeria. So I will have to be here at some point. So getting used to this way of life, and also I don't want someone to get used to it and just be like, oh, I know how to live here. I want to enjoy it. I want to be able to go to a place and enjoy that place, you know. I think I definitely made the right decision coming here. It's not an easy decision, and when I tell you I really wanted to go back to the UK that first 3 weeks, I was ready to go back on the plane. I was like, I don't care that I quit my job, I don't care that I told all my friends I'm coming, I'm going back. But you know, now that I've been here for a bit longer, you know, and once I make friends and I actually throw myself into law school, I feel like I will actually enjoy it here, because my heritage, my bloodline is rooted in this country. And at the same time, I do still feel like England is also home, because that is what is normal to me, that is what I know, and that is always going to be the standard by which I rate other places I go to. But I also want to know what Nigeria is like. I also want to be open to where I come from. And a lot of people are like, ew, you're going back to Nigeria, you're going to study in Nigeria. I think they see studying in Nigeria as going backwards, because people are trying to come to England to be abroad to study, and you're going back to Nigeria to study. But I'm confident in the decision that I've made, and I feel like God is here with me, because another big thing is obviously security and safety. And like my friends are rightfully so worried for me about like being safe and just being protected, and I share their sentiments. Obviously I'm aware that, you know, it's probably not the best political climate to have come into Nigeria into, but my personal belief is that it's God that looks after me, it's God that takes care of me, and the person who's been keeping me safe all these years is not England, it's God. And to be honest, anything can happen to anyone anywhere. People can get bombed in England, they can get kidnapped in England. Obviously, less likely. Less likely you'll be kidnapped in England, but the truth is anything can happen to you anywhere, and I don't think that's good enough reason to never go out or venture out of the country and see what's out there. You know, there's a bit of a restless spirit in me that kind of wants to see the world and see what I always crave more than what I'm used to. And so I feel like to say, oh, because, you know, something could be dangerous, I'm not going to travel, it doesn't make sense, because I could stay in England and anything could happen. You know, I'm scared and I'm worried sometimes, but I just have to pray that God will go with me wherever I go, and pray that His will be done. Whatever He has a plan for my life, and I believe that He will not take me before my time is up, and He will not let any harm before me before my time is up. So I think it's just with the whole security and safety and being worried about that, I just have to give it to God and trust that He's got me, kind of thing. Because you can't live your whole life in fear. I'm going to be careful. I'm going to be safe, but ultimately you have to live life to the best of your abilities. But yes, that is, oh my gosh, another thing. I don't know why everyone is just on my case about meeting day in Nigeria. I'm not even going, this is how I feel about that. Okay, every single person, like, oh, you meet your husband in Nigeria. I'm not sure, sis. I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah, so that is my moving to Nigeria story / journey. I have so many videos I want to make about Nigeria versus the UK, and my experiences here so far. Let me know down below if you want to see that. If you have any questions for me about my move, let me know down below as well. I have a vlog. I've been kind of filming bits and pieces of when I first came to Nigeria, and when I was going to like different places in Nigeria, and when I went to the village to bury my granddad. So if you want to see that vlog, let me know down below as well. I will put that up. Like I said before, I will try and be consistent. I will be coming with the videos as and when I can, but law school is very, very intense. Law school is very on you, and you know, I came here to get a good grade, to get a first, to pass. So my focus and my attention will be on that, but I will be trying my best all my free time. I'll be trying to put out videos for you guys. I'll still be doing Yoruba videos, I'll still be doing other type of videos. Okay, but as usual, you can follow me on my social media sites. Instagram, Coco_infusion, or my Yoruba Instagram, Yoruba_lessons. You can follow me on Twitter if you want, Coco_infusions. I will see you guys in my next video.